Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Here we go with another painting broadcast. Just trying to get my stuff together for tonight. Very disgustingly hot day today in Southern California. But that said, we got painting to do. We're still hobbyists, and we got a job to do. Anyway. Let me get you guys caught up with what we did last night. So we're working on Night Models Joker stuff. You can see I've got some of the beginnings of the face makeup on some of these dudes. And I'm going to keep them pretty simple. And then we also have the man himself, the Joker. So there's him. He's looking kind of cool. Hey, what's up? Yo, 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 it's your boy. What's up, Cameron? Welcome to the feed here. Yeah, dude. It is disgustingly hot, and I hate it. But nevertheless, we must continue to paint. So paint I am doing. Wow. It's so hot that my wet palette is struggling to keep things wet. And that's not good. But it's to be expected. I mean, it is really, really disgustingly hot right now. And in fact, the paint, a lot of this paint that we applied last night has crusted on the miniatures. Which is cool if we were doing like Heath Ledger Joker. Yeah, it's stupid hot and my truck doesn't have AC. Get some Eldar to paint tomorrow. Well, hopefully your home central air is working. Mine is not. It's actually the indoor fan works, but the outdoor fan doesn't work. So I guess it kind of, so I guess we could say it partially works. So it keeps some of the house cool. Like this room right now that we're in is actually the coolest room in the house. But I've been working on it like all day, pretty much trying to get that outdoor fan to kick on. But it won't kick on, so it's been kind of a bad day. We went to the one good thing about today, though, is we did go to the OC Street Fair, which was super fun. But even that was just so disgustingly hot. I think tomorrow we have to interview for a new nanny. And it's like, hopefully, she didn't get scared off when we're like, yeah, we're trying to get our AC fixed. But I'm sure right now everybody this weekend in the OC who is not used to running their air conditioning the way we've had to, trying to get their air conditioning fixed right now because, you know, we're used to living by the beach. Like we never had to. I run the AC in this house, but I never had to run the supercooling like the outdoor fan. Usually just good enough with what works, but that's not going to be good enough moving forward here. So I've been working on the AC all weekend long, actually, and I think the conclusion I'm going to come to is that I really should, at this point, I should just go out and try to get my HVAC license because I changed so many things on the AC. I've been working on it all weekend. So I changed the run capacitor, I changed the contactor, I changed the thermostat, I changed the what else did I change here? I've cleaned up some of the wiring, changed the air filter. There's not much left that I haven't changed, and it's still not quite working. It's at this point, I'm pretty sure it's just a short somewhere, and I need an actual electrician or somebody to come in and help me find it. Problem is, if you're an electrician this weekend, you are a rich man if you're working, because you're getting all kinds of emergency calls. People who haven't fired their AC in years are firing them up and coming to realize that they should have done that preventive maintenance on their AC. So it's not working so well. My wife, my wife and my oldest boy, they don't really need to be cold the way me and the little baby do. Me and the little baby, like, we agree that we need it cold. So, but the other two members of our family don't care, and they like it warm, but not today. Today we're all in agreement that we all want to be cold. Here's the Ringleader guy. He looks nice and scary. For the most part, they look pretty good. I just need to finish highlighting them up. And then we're going to do little diamonds on the eyes and that kind of stuff. You know, regular clown makeup stuff. This guy here looks pretty good. He's looking pretty good. And then my favorite of all the clown thugs, this guy, wife beater dude. He's awesome. I love this dude. I'm sure somebody on The Verge or BuzzFeed or somebody's writing an article about how Night Models is promoting misogyny with their wife beater clown. You'll never guess what kind of male terrorism is going on with Night Models. Anyway, it's funny to me, but I understand. Very characterful. Yeah, I just love this sculpt. Really cool looking. All right. Let's get a little. Let's see. I need to get some black down as well. All right, let's start the base color, the base green on Joker's hair and his bow tie and all that other good stuff. Yeah. Sorry, man. I gotta talk trash. I'll try not to go into like a whole diatribe over it. We'll just laugh it. Night Models is spreading institutional racism with their mostly white Batman miniature game. I like to just say the like my pretend offended news storylines, because it doesn't sound like a fake these days. Like, if you've been following what's been going on, like, none of this stuff that I say sounds fake anymore. Like, these used to be Onion articles, and now they're just like actual people really freaking out about stuff. The most recent one, at least of relevance, was I saw one about, Games Workshop not teaching and not educating its customers enough, because too many of the miniature lines are focused on white models. It's kind of weird, because if you did really want to feature miniatures of color, that's pretty funny to me, you could just paint them that way. You know, like I had an all black Space Marine chapter, but then, you know, you could also reverse it. Like you could say that I'm being racist because, you know, or you know, if you like that and you represent it yourself, then you're fetishizing black culture, right? Like, oh, how dare you? Because, you know, at the time I had a Space Marine crew, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll make them all black guys. That's cool. You know, you could argue salamanders. They have really dark skin. That's in their fluff. Let's see. Going the way of gaming topic, I just watched a video about Gen Con doesn't even support wargaming too much. Yeah, I guess Gen Con is really kind of more focused on the board game stuff, and the wargaming, like the miniature wargaming stuff. They still have those events there, but I guess, you know, I guess it's going to be more focused on board gaming. I mean, I'm not trying to defend it, but board gaming is by far the more popular hobby of the two. And I consider that a blessing and a curse. These days, I consider it mostly a blessing that miniature gaming isn't as popular as it really should be. You know, we used to worry that, you know, people weren't going to play miniature games because you had to paint the models, and, you know, there was a intense hobby, and there's a collecting aspect, and there's this really deep, you know, it's a deep hobby, right? You know, classical miniature wargaming. I'm not talking about X-Wing or, you know, Hero Clicks and that kind of stuff. I'm talking classical miniature wargaming. It is not, you know, in its purest sense, in terms of like being a mix of hobby and game. It's not really for the kind of touristy type hipster guys that partake of we'll just say geek culture these days. You know, it's not really about that. So that's why it's not as big as you might think it should be. And again, I think that's kind of a good thing. I think that because there is such a time and I'll just say it, you know, talent investment in miniature gaming. It's kind of good that, you know, we haven't been completely invaded by hipsters and you know, hipsters and people who want to politicize everything, social justice warriors or whatever you want to call them. You know, because it's pervasive. You know, it's in every popular thing now, video games to comic books to and nerd culture is where it's really gotten the most footing. So, you know, take it for what it is. It's, I don't know. So the fact that our hobby requires more commitment, it makes it harder for those people to kind of invest and co-opt. But they'll try. I mean, it's coming. You see it all in the GW stuff because GW is the most popular. They kind of look from the outside and go, oh, another boys club. We better F this up. But, you know, I'm just talking mess. I don't know if that's how they think, but it seems like that's how they think. I'm just going to be happy and enjoy. I'm going to just be happy and enjoy the models and the miniatures and the gaming. while I can, you know. If it gets co-opted, though, it doesn't really affect most of us at all. That's another reason why I don't really see that happening in miniature gaming, because, you know, even if they did write a bunch of articles on The Verge and, you know, they made it so that you're a social pariah for playing miniature war games, you know, my response to that would be, so it's the same as when we did that 20 years ago. You know what I mean? 20 years ago, if you were into miniature wargaming, nobody knew what the hell you were talking about. And there was, at least in my experience, there is this sort of natural fear of these weird kind of fringe cultures, like the miniature wargaming circles and that kind of thing. So it's not like, you know, I couldn't go to my work and go, hey guys, I'm really into miniature wargaming. Like, that wouldn't, in the private sector, in my older generation, you know, Gen Xer, and some boomers and stuff at my work, they wouldn't know what the crap I'm talking about. And then, you know, if they did know, then I think they would look down on me a bit, like, oh, he's into that weird hobby stuff, you know? So if a bunch of, like, you know, Anita Sarkeesians and those guys came into miniature gaming and said, miniature gaming is for horrible terrorist people, like, we wouldn't be like, oh, you're gonna do that again. Well, okay, fine. Like, we're still gonna game. And as long as there's companies like, say, Ninja Division, that's like, oh yeah, they hate social justice warriors, and they don't like John Kadichi is one of the reasons why, yeah, they, you know, they're late on their Kickstarters, and they kind of, so they will say at times I find them frustrating. But one of the reasons why I will always back him is because he's unapologetically committed to making what he thinks are to be good products. You know, a lot of people scream and cry over the whole cheesecake factor. Oh, cheesecake! I just want to play Relic Knights, but the girls have big boobs and it scares me. Like that, I don't know. They're going to do stuff like that. And when people, because, you know, I remember people really kind of, when we first started bringing Relic Knights into the shops and stuff, some of the guys would get really freaked out, like ready to faint, fall on couches and clutch pearls and all that good stuff. And I honestly considered it a blessing. I'm like, I'm glad we know about this now. I'm glad that these guys are squeamish about, you know, art and fantasy and women's bodies. Like, I'm glad that I know about that weird, you know, that a piece of plastic, a piece of metal would freak you out that much. You know, thank you for telling me right now before, you know, we really tried to get into gaming and stuff, and then you find out that you have these weird hang-ups over, like, inanimate objects. Anyway, let's see. ND is legit. They accept the fan service and don't censor. Yeah, that's my favorite thing about Ninja Division, is that they're never gonna apologize for liking what they like and being who they are. And I love it. It's awesome. Anywho, these guys might look a little bit boring, but again, I really don't care. They're cool, especially Wife Beater guy. He's awesome. Let's give him a belt, though. Because, you know, when you're wearing a wife beater, you do want to keep your pants up so that you can show off your wife beater. it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen to, these other hobbies that are already dealing with this on a constant basis. Video games probably the biggest battleground, right? Be very curious to see what happens to video games in the next 5 to 10 years. Will video games be scrubbed clean, or will we have, will it still kind of be that scene? Will it actually be good for independent developers, right? Let's say Rockstar Games and all that kind of stuff gets shut down by the powers that be, and they get deplatformed and that kind of thing. Well, I mean, everyone knows that there's a market for this type of stuff. And what if a bunch of rogue developers go rogue and they say, well, you know what, our game didn't get greenlit. Let's go ahead and make it anyway. Or let's do what Ninja Division did, which is also super, super cool. If you remember what they did during the whole Tentacle Bento debacle, they got kicked off of Kickstarter, and then so they ran their own crowdfunding. They ran their own crowdfunding campaign, smashed a bunch of records, published their game, and it's still, Tentacle Bento is still by far one of their most popular games. And I thought it was when I first heard about Tentacle Bento, I honestly thought it was stupid, because I'm like, okay, that's just a little too on the nose. That's just a little, like, why do you need to go there? It seems like you're just trying to edgelord us. But I tried out the game and I freaking loved it. It's still by far one of my favorite, not just one of my favorite Ninja Division games. It's one of my favorite card games, I would say, ever, is Tentacle Bento. And everybody that I've shown it to loves it. And honestly, that's the game that got the most, I guess, legitimate female players than a lot of other games that I saw. Like when I used to run all the ninja games and show people how to do stuff, the girls were the ones that ended up getting the most excited about Tentacle Bento. I'm like, oh yeah, we want to play more. They would come back the next day. We want to play more Tentacle Bento. We want to, we had so much fun, and we really like the cards, and the girls are hot, and you think about it, shouldn't be that surprising if you understand the anime fandom as a whole, because the anime fandom is much closer to, say, 50% female fans than a lot of other, quote unquote geek media. And these female fans celebrate all kinds of anime. It's not just, they don't just like the slice of life kind of relationship animes. They like some of the dirty animes. They like some of the ecchi. They like whatever they like. And so when you have games like Tentacle Bento that do really well, you shouldn't be all that surprised. I decided that Chainsaw Guy gets a boring jacket, unfortunately. He's just going to get a boring black jacket. I mean, I could do half of his jacket black and the other half orange, but I was watching a Giguk video that, I don't know if you follow Giguk on YouTube. It's one of my favorite anime channels. And he put out a video this past week, is anime mainstream? Has it become mainstream? And he cites a lot of really, really strong examples of how pervasive anime is becoming in the mainstream, and how streaming services like Netflix and Hulu were they can attribute a part of their success, the success of their platform, on being early adopters of streaming anime. And then taking it a step further, you have anime being adapted into feature-length films, which you don't have to like, but it's fact. That is what it's still a significant sign that that anime is becoming mainstream. And is that good? I don't know. Honestly, people get excited when there's the fandoms to things grow, and I can see that, like, especially being a gamer, if your game, the game that you really like, starts to explode locally, then those are exciting times, and you're meeting all these new people in the community and all this other kind of stuff. For miniature games, I think it's overwhelmingly good when you have people picking up different games. For anime, I really don't know what to say. I mean, like, when you think about these, like, geek critics or whatever getting their hands on anime, and starting to do videos and critique anime, and if you recall the kind of stuff that, like, say, Anita Sarkeesian has said about anime, and that it's the worst thing on earth, and it's just misogyny in a bottle, and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, okay, well, those people, that's coming, and they already have a problem with anime. Like, these pop culture critics already hate anime. So what's going to happen? Is it going to attempt to be mainstream and then just get rooted out by people like that? Or is it going to become mainstream and then essentially just become sanitized in the course of going mainstream? Can you really think of things that have gone mainstream that haven't been sanitized? I don't know. I can't think of anything that really that went into the mainstream that didn't get, we'll just say, neutered, for lack of a better term. Because I just think that that's true. It's what happens when you get so many people on the boat, and then they start to change it along not the needs of the majority, not even along the pathway of what got them popularity in the first place, but they start worrying about the 1-star reviews, worrying about the the loudest complainers in society. They start worrying about their how their friends in the press are going to treat them if they don't toe some sort of progressive line. I'm just like making stuff up. And this guy's mask, just making it up. Looks cool. And this guy here. Oh. Just a little clown tear. All right, now we're gonna Anyway, but what do we know, right? We're just gonna watch what goes down. But yeah, I don't. If anything, it'll make a bunch of miniatures I own worth more money because they'll be banned. Okay. That one's my fave. The Harlequin pattern reminds me of the design on Kina Kimono. I think you're talking about the guy with the hood on his head, right? Not Shotgun Guy. Although Shotgun Guy is pretty damn cool looking. Oh, the one I'm pinning now. Okay. So it is this guy, Shotgun Guy. He's pretty awesome. Okay. Then we'll just do orange pants so the diamonds will be black. He looks like Filthy Frank. Should have just painted him pink. That would have been awesome. He was Filthy Frank. Here's Fat Filthy Frank. Let's see. He's also a tubby guy. Oops. You can see I'm going really, really bare bones simple on them. But the color scheme is such that they still look really good, even with just like this almost nothing paint job on them. He's a big guy. And he has to take this jackhammer somewhere. Just paint a couple more areas. It's black. So this guy will have more of the Harley Quinn split style. So out of this stuff, should be able to make a reasonable, like we'll call it a Joker demo crew, where you can teach people how to play the game. You know, I'm not interested in a Joker crew, so I'll probably have the shopkeepers hang on to a kit where I include, you know, some of these models. And if we get more Batman players out of it, then cool. If not a big deal. Okay, so you can see I'm doing his patterning. It's a little bit different than the other guys, but fundamentally it's the same. Okay, so let that dry for a minute. Let's add a little depth to Joker's outfit here. I'm going to use this Druki Violet. Is it Druki or Druchi? I think most people pronounce it Druchi. I like Druki better, but you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Not a big deal. You can be more GW than me by getting it right. So like I said, we're doing a pretty quick and dirty job on these. I just want them to look reasonably good for demos. All right. I think I want to do like a red ink on the rest of these guys. I don't know. Pretty happy with that. Again, we're not going for we're not really trying to win anything. Whoa, it's way too much water. It's okay. I'm just gonna get Wife Beater's knife here. All right. I'd like a picture of a green wash you can use. There we go. Let's do this Way Watcher green on the sewer part for Joker. We're moving pretty quick though. And these models are going to be just fine for running demos. There you go. See how that dries? I'm wondering if I should do the terracotta style. Yeah, I should. Well, these are a lot bigger. The individual rocks and things. Mm-hmm. Okay. So these will be good. I'll be pretty happy when these are done. Just a kind of a largish unpaid project on my desk here. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. Tonight's subject, the Joker crew from Night Models. Oops, made that way too big. That's okay. I just like to do more of like the flagstone style now. All right. So we're going to do this and then kind of blend them all together. And that'll do it. I mean, this project is done already. Also, I do have to figure out who I'm running these guys against. Right now, I'm liking the option of either Batfleck or Arkham Origins Batman. Because I think those are fun play styles that, if somebody is going to play Batman for the demo, then they should have some fun, like beating the crap out of people. And for the points, those two guys are both very good at it without having to take a Robin. There we go. Okay. Let's do a brown color. I'm going to do a lighter brown color this time, because it doesn't really matter. It's all going to blend. And then we'll wrap up these guys and then kind of zero in on getting Joker done. Joker should have at least a little more attention given to him. Yeah, it's okay. Kind of a cool brown there. Moving through pretty quick now. It's like I smell blood in these as we start to hit the end. And then I just want to finish. All right. And then we're going to also do kind of this area up here, the Ringmaster. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Shall I can do that? Glove here. All right. Oops. Forget to do the rest of the browns. Now I'm starting to get too excited and think I'm done already, but I'm really not. But yeah, these are this set is really just gonna be the demo set, like I said. And I'll include terrain and some helpful sheets and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. All right. And finally, Joker. Just there we go. Put a little shine on the butter knife that he's wielding. And his extra scenic water base. Okay. I'm going to do a couple of highlights there. I need a foul green. But yeah, we're moving pretty quick now. Which is good because I just keep getting more and more tired with this heat. Okay. Oops. I need to give a quick little highlight on this guy's hair. Okay. Now let's make our little wash. We'll wash all these guys. You know, maybe I should just wash them in Agrex Earthshade. Nah. No, let's do a regular. Let's do what I do. A little ink glaze. And we'll just do the bottom. We'll break out the bigger brush. And we're going to start doing this number. It's just such an easy look to get. And it looks awesome. It's like really realistic and, I don't know, like draws your eyes to it. But then you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm looking at somebody else's flagstone tile. But that isn't necessarily true either. So for Joker, I'm just going to do the rock part. But yeah, these guys are just about done. Let me do, I help them out here. That. Let me help them out with a little top hat thing. Okay. If you can safely take the blacksmiths off their dumb generic bases, I'd like to do a flagstone base like that. I think you can. I mean, if they attach the same way the plastics from Kickoff did, you can do it. It's just not very easy. Like you have to get a hobby knife in there and kind of either chop them off, slice straight across the foot to get the peg out, or you have to try to get underneath the foot and wiggle it around until the thing pops loose. So sadly, those are the options. Joker's looking pretty cool. I'll do some pinstripes on him. Maybe not. That looks so good. Yeah, it's fine. All right, let's do the black bases on these. Now that I'm looking for black, I will find only black gray. Did I ever leave it out here? I don't think so. Maybe if I pretend I'm looking for black gray, then I'll find black. So yeah, this stuff will look somewhat generic. Not my best work, but again, this is for a demo kit. So I'm not... Oh, I totally have to paint his gloves. How did I skip that? And then I gotta paint the stock of his shotgun as well. Okay. All right. So back to the black bases. Just paint these in. There we go. Let's paint Joker who has that really cool scenic base. Okay. Joker bit action right there. Okay. Almost done. Nice quiet evening here. Do. So after this, I'm going to watch a bunch of YouTube videos on wiring my AC. So quiet. Yes, it's good. It's helping me relax a little bit. Only problem there is I'm so close to being done with these that I'm just going to lower my head and we're just going to finish strong and that's it. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's that dude. Finally, Mr. Chainsaw Guy. Yeah, this couldn't have come any sooner. I'm really tired. So we're just gonna wrap this guy up. There we go. We'll wrap him up. We'll go ahead and call it. All right, so that's going to do it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night.